Okay. Please tell me this is working. Okay, we got 3 people. Let me know in the chat. Is this working? I'm doing something new. Can I see the chat here? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me? How are we doing? We're using OBS for the first time. All right. Am I coming through? How's the audio levels? Too loud? Too quiet? Is the music too loud? Can you hear the music? These are the questions that I have. How's the quality? Is it good quality? It's okay. Hopefully it should be less laggy though. How's the lag? How are we doing? We have a package full of Lego, and it's a lot of pieces. So let's see what we can do today. We're gonna be working on this thing, which is the craziest thing I've ever built. But before we get to that, we're gonna see what's inside this box. And we're just gonna hang out, have a good time. Is there a little bit of background music? Is it coming through okay? Everyone's saying it's looking pretty good. That's good. I think also the way that I'm doing it means this stream is both horizontal and vertical on YouTube. So comment if you're seeing the vertical one, because I'm curious to make sure that that's working. Everyone's in the chat. What's up, guys? What's up? Hey, let me know in the chat how you're doing today, how your week was, anything cool that's happened related to Lego or just life. At this point, Lego kind of is my life, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into it. We're gonna be working on this coaster, and it's gonna be a lot. There's a lot of work that still needs to go into this. Okay, if you haven't seen this, I'll explain to you in a little bit like what we're gonna be doing. But basically, this is like version 1. So we have to figure out how to get the coaster to work to the best that I can. Basically making sure that we test it lots so that it works consistently. And then we're gonna be building a whole Minecraft world around it. So a lot of pieces in here are gonna go towards that. I have a lot more pieces that are gonna go towards that. And it's gonna take quite a long time to get the actual long form video out on my channel. But in the meantime, you guys get to be here with me and get to be part of the whole process. So I'm pretty excited for that. At any point while building that huge structure, did you think to yourself, this might be a little too big? Oh yeah, for sure. I still think that. The thing is, with these coaster track pieces, if you want to build any like significant coaster, it takes up a lot of space because these are just big parts. So I didn't want to cut any corners. I wanted this to be go big or go home. So yeah, it's pretty large, but it comes apart in sections, which I'll explain a little bit later. But that makes it a little bit easier to hopefully transport, and I won't have to carry the whole thing in one big, you know. Okay, how are we doing on lag? Is it lagging? Seems good. Seems decent. I think I need to up the quality a little bit, but hopefully I did a little bit of lower quality and a little bit of what is it called? Latency, so that it won't lag as much this time, because that's been an issue in the past. So yes, fantastic. We're almost at 100,000. Super exciting, and things are going great. Is everyone here watching on horizontal? Because the background music is foreground music. Okay, that's what I needed. The music is too loud. Okay, thank you. Hey, someone's telling me the truth. Perfect. All right, it should be a little bit better now. You guys let me know. let me know if the audio levels are good. I got a new mic, so hopefully it should be a little bit better. I'll have to tweak the settings and stuff because I'm not a huge streamer. But I'm super excited to get into this. For anyone who's just joining, we're going to be unboxing this mystery box. It is a pretty legit cube box here, which is pretty satisfying, I think. It looks like a Lego brick, kind of. Lots of pieces in this box that are going to go towards this giant coaster over here. Anyway, hope everyone's having a great day. Everyone had a great week. If all of the technical difficulties are working now, we can get into it. Yeah, so let me know about the audio. Let me know if anything's lagging. There's only so much I can do because I'm still figuring this out. The main thing is the audio level good? I'm gonna come down here a little bit. Oh. Okay, hold on. Forgot about that part. Let me just open this up, and then I'll show you what's inside. Okay. Cool. Zoom in. And let's see what we got here. You never really know how the shipping on these is gonna go. Seems like they've got some padding. Not as full as I thought, actually. Okay. We've got some slightly boring pieces in here and some very exciting pieces in here. These are super boring. The whole point of these pieces, let me move this up a little bit. The whole point of these pieces is just for supports. So I can stuff the inside of builds with big pieces like this, and it'll mean that they're a little bit lighter, and then these just take up a lot of space to keep the build strong. So these are supports. A lot of these are supports, actually. Some slopes, and these, I'm using a lot of these, like hundreds of these 2x2s for the coaster supports, which we're going to be getting into today. So these will get stacked up like crazy. And there should be more of them. Plates, I just buy the cheapest color I can find. A lot of these just go on the inside of the builds. Gotta be honest, it looks like less than I was expecting. But I think it's because a lot of pieces are really small. These pieces are very important for the coaster. These connect all of the supports together. Yo, Molecraft is in the chat. That's crazy. Welcome, Molecrafts. These are really, really great for connecting all the supports together. And definitely some pieces that I was running out of. We're going to be using these today. We also, let's see what else we have. Some very random miscellaneous parts. These are really cool. These corkscrews, very satisfying. I'm not sure exactly what I'll use those for, but I'm excited to try them. We also have lots of slopes, more slopes, and cheese wedges. But these are going to be super important for today, so I'm going to set them over there. We have bricks. I just bought, this seller had a whole bunch of just cheap pieces in large quantities, which is fantastic. So just the pink is the cheapest, so I buy the pink. These are not the cheapest. These sand blue bricks are going to be in the Minecraft world. Let's see what else. Okay, here's some cool stuff. Some more exciting pieces. Such as, let's see what's in here. Okay, interesting. Okay, we have a minifig. I think this is from Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. I just think the set was super overpriced, but the minifig was pretty cool. We've got some nice printed legs, cool printed torso. I think I can use some of these parts for Ancient Aztecs, which is another big project that I'm working on this year. So, pretty sweet fig. I don't know where to put him, but he'll find a place. We have, oh nice. This is some sweet packaging right here. We have some sticker sheets. I always, when I shop on Bricklink, I gotta look at the sticker sheets because they can be pretty cheap and you can use them to add a lot of detail. The main thing for me was this Minecraft sticker sheet. I want to use some of these stickers in my build as like a little title in the front. Man, this is very interesting packaging. So good, I don't even know how to open it. Let's see how this works. Okay, there we go. Man, this is pretty sweet. These little pockets. Yeah, so anyway. So one of these or several of these will go in the very front of the build at the bottom. I just thought they were pretty sweet. Those come from the Minecraft crafting table set. And I think it's cool because it has the Minecraft logo, but it also has the little like splash text. That is really fun. It does kind of look like these stickers aren't printed the best. They seem a little off, but I don't know if they're just all like that or if it's just this one that I got. All right, let's see what else we have here. Here's some more exciting pieces. Pretty excited for some of this stuff. This is a Hero Factory / Bionicle helmet. I just have a lot of nostalgia for this era of Hero Factory and Bionicle. And I think parts like this have a lot of potential in builds even today. Like, even if I'm not using it as a helmet, it could be used as like the shell of a bug, or I don't know, I just see a bug, but it could be like used in a lot of different ways. And I just think it's really cool and it's a great color. We also have something very important. The Ender Dragon head without the eyes on it. The coaster will be featuring the end. Yes, definitely looks like a cockroach. The coaster will be featuring the end. It'll be featuring almost every biome and every dimension. So I have to have the Ender Dragon, obviously. We have a shark here. Little light gray shark. I have several dark gray ones, but the light gray is a little less common. Probably won't show up in any videos soon, but I do plan to build Atlantis at some point. All right, what else do we have? Some nice tiles. These green ones are from a Sonic set, but I like how pixelated they are. I think I could use them for something. Probably not for Minecraft though. Minifig parts, such as little apron and a beard. I'm also buying a lot of these newer, exciting colors, such as neon, this neon green yellow, and also this reddish orange. And I have a video planned out using some of these weirder colors. And I'm pretty excited for that. This is unrelated, but here's my little Lego color palette. So you can see I've got almost every color that Lego has made here on my base plate here. Very satisfying, I think. The torso is from a city set, I think. I believe it just comes in like a burger truck city set. These are some interesting larger pieces. These domes are great for like sort of more cartoony rock work. So these can be like boulders. I just think they're very cool, very interesting, and I'm probably going to use them for ancient Aztecs, as long as I don't drop them all on the floor. Okay. Oh, and then the other random interesting parts. Moving on to some of the more important stuff for today. These are incredibly useful pieces for strength. If you use these pieces in a build, it's going to be a strong build. And I'm using these at the base of all of the base plates for the coaster, and I will probably be using them throughout the build. So that's why I bought a few of them. Okay, here's some other important stuff. Here we go. We're using these today as well. These are what's going to lock together all of the supports. The ones I was showing you, these 2x2 round bricks. We're going to be stacking them up and then connecting them with these axles. And then we just end up with a really nice, strong connection that we can duplicate as many times as we want, at least until we run out of pieces. Hopefully this is enough. Really hoping. All right. You can see some more of the really unique colors, the newer colors that LEGO has been producing recently. This neon yellow, reddish orange. All of these have a use in a video coming up soon. Yeah, some more just really useful, nice colors. Some lime green, some purple. I have plans to build, this is actually the first time I've said this online, but I have plans to build some more cars from the Cars movie after LEGO released this set, which is a fantastic set. Probably one of the best. I wanted to build some more in that scale. I've started, this is not complete yet, but almost. This is the guy from, this is Snot Rod from Cars. And I'm going to build him and the rest of his gang. I don't know if you remember that scene, but one of them is this color, this lime green color. So I've been buying parts for that. And this is just a few more that I wanted to experiment with. I don't like designing things and then buying the pieces. I like buying the pieces and then designing. Maybe that's just me. This is some more, just very nice colors. One cool thing in this bag here is these sparkly purple bricks. It'll focus, maybe? Yeah. I'm going to use these for amethyst in Minecraft. And I'm pretty pumped for that. Oh, I can switch this out right now, actually. This is LEGO's new trans black that I need to put on my board here. I had, as a placeholder, some trans black plates stacked up, but now we have this in trans black, and then you can see it here compared to the trans brown, how much bluer it is, which I think is pretty nice. They're not making this color anymore, they've switched to this. So, nice. It's always satisfying when I can add a color or switch out a color on my little sheet there. This bag has some interesting parts. I gotta say, all of these parts are in really great condition. I think most of them are new. Some cool Technic panel pieces. I want to experiment more with these. I don't buy a lot of Technic sets, but I've seen people use these for some pretty neat builds. So, exciting. Hopefully the audio levels are balanced right now. Just want to make sure that the music is in the background. Oh, these are really cool too. These are similar Technic panels, but these have printing on them, and they look like, will it focus? These look like, what's it called? Carbon fiber. So I bought a couple of these. See if it catches the light. Pretty cool. Good for cars. Some Minecraft parts in here, and a few other interesting parts. Yo, Molecrafts, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, next up, some bigger parts. This is a nice, I actually am using this piece for several of the cars because if you remember, there's this orange one, there's a blue one, there's a green one, and the trickiest part with this is finding windscreen pieces that are the correct color. So this piece comes in orange, I don't have it yet, but it also comes in blue. So I'll be using that for the blue guy. We also have these very delicious looking reddish orange bricks. I think these came in the Fortnite Durr Burger, but I just thought I'd buy a couple. I want to experiment with Lego's newer colors, and I will have a video about that actually, Lego's weirdest colors. So pretty excited for that. This also has some of these newer like dinosaur tail pieces, which are great for trees. Got some of those. What else do we have in here? Some more slopes. Can't go wrong with these. Great for landscaping. Looks like a bell pepper. These? Looks like a bell pepper. I could see that. A little cut up bell pepper for a snack. Nothing too crazy in here. Some more pieces. Same thing here. More just really interesting parts and colors that I would like to experiment with. These brown ones I'm going to use for Mater actually. These wait a minute. I want to build a Mater to go along with my Lightning McQueen, and I've seen people trying to do it. People haven't really done a great job, to be honest. So I'm going to use these for the front of Mater, like his hood. So I had to get some in brown. I've already started prototyping that build. Here we have some purple pieces. I have plans to use these, or at least this color, for Boost. He's the leader of the cars, racers, the guys that wake up Mac on the interstate. But he's actually one of the hardest to build because his main color is like a dark silver, and Lego has that color but doesn't have a lot of pieces in that color. But I'm figuring that out. Right. Yeah. I have a plan. Here's some more of these bell pepper. These are a little bit of a different shape, but they align with these pieces very nicely. Pretty satisfying. And this is like a new color as of last year, so I haven't really used it much, and I'm excited to use it. And then this bag also has a ton of just 2x4 plates that will be extremely useful for internal filler brick in Minecraft. This is a great bag. We just have a whole bunch of panels. Great for Star Wars, but also great for filling in large areas of cobblestone in the Minecraft world. So very exciting. These are also very, very exciting and very important for today. I'm using these to connect all of the supports together. Let's see if I can. Yes. These 1x2 clips are extremely important in order to connect all of these different sections. So you can see here, and pretty much everywhere, we have octagon clips, 1x2 clips, and then these connectors. So that's what's keeping it all together. It's funny because this structure is actually not going to be in the final build at all. It'll all be supported by landscape, but during the testing, these are crucial. So, very important. Oh, we just have some nice cheese wedges here. Goodness. Some more of this neon yellow color. And yeah, just a bunch of useful, helpful stuff mixed in there. I don't remember putting all this stuff in my cart, but I know it has a reason. Yeah, and then this is some more just useful filler brick. We're going to be using these today. I gotta be honest, not as many as I was expecting. I don't know if it should be all of it, but it doesn't look like all of it. Hopefully it's enough, because looking at what I have now, it's a little concerning. These things get eaten up so quickly. So, but we'll see. We'll start stacking them up and we'll see what we end up with. But anyway, that's it. Pretty insane haul. It's a cart that I have been putting together for a while, and I wanted to make sure to order in time for this week, which is my spring break week. So I'm going to start organizing these a little bit and figuring out what we need for today. Going to need these, I think. I'm also going to stack up as many of these round ones as I can, and we're going to see how many we actually have, because if I don't have enough, I need to get that figured out. All right. Also, while I'm here, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to leave suggestions of things to build. If you are wanting more Skibidi, I have a plan, I have concepts of a plan, of how to incorporate Skibidi one more time into a video. And that's about all I'll say. But rest assured that there will be more Skibidi in the future. Just maybe in a little bit of a different format. Maybe in a little bit of a better format even. Maybe you'll like it even more than what I've done previously. Who knows? So last time I streamed, people told me that it doesn't work as well if you do horizontal streaming, because people find your stream on YouTube Shorts, and that's where they watch it. Usually they'll watch it in vertical, and in the past I had done vertical. So I decided to try that, and I found out that there's a way that you can do both, and I think that's what I'm doing right now, but I feel like I don't have anywhere to check that, so I really have no way of knowing. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're making stacks of these, and then we're going to switch over to the coaster, and we're going to start building up these supports. I think they need to be, how tall? 8 or 10? Yeah, 10 tall. And then these get alternated with these and these, and then we just build from there. It's that easy. But it's very time consuming. And I gotta be honest, it also gets a little bit crazy with the coaster itself, because as you're testing, things will work perfectly. And you'll be like, okay, this works great. And, you know, you're like, okay, cool, move on to the next section. And then you'll come back to it a week later, and it does not work at all. And the coaster just doesn't slide as well as it used to. So what I'm going to try is you can get, like, it's basically, what's it called? Like lubricant, like WD-40, but it works for plastic. So I think, hold on. Gotta find a good song. Okay, I think if I spray the wheels of the coaster a little bit so that they slide more freely, that will solve some of my problems. But I really don't know. And it's a little concerning because I had a really great layout over here that I liked a lot. And if it doesn't work, or if it does work, but then I bring it to a Lego convention and it just stops working, like, what do I do? All right. While I build this, I'm also going to bring up my order. Let me do this. I'm going to bring up my Bricklink order just to double check, because the quantity of these is not looking like how I expected it to. But also, sometimes I just overestimate that. So I'm just going to make sure that it looks like I have the right number of the ones that I ordered. Because these bricks are very important for what we're doing today. Okay, so 60 of these looks right. But didn't I buy... Okay, I bought 30... What? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so this is what I ordered. But I thought I ordered like 120 of one of these. And I don't know what happened there, actually. That's a bit unfortunate. I guess I thought I had clicked it and I didn't. Man. Yeah, that really throws a wrench into my plans. So, I guess we just gotta work with what we have. And I need to figure that out. I thought I was gonna get like more than 200 of these today. And it's not that. I really don't know what happened, but that's my bad. No one to blame but myself. Because it seems like this guy packed everything correctly. Here we go, we have 60 of these. And you might think, oh, 60 is a lot. Well, let me just show you. Each one of these sections, these girders, are 10. Right? So 10, 10, 10, wait, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Less than 10 there. So this adds up. So if I have 60 of these, that's 6 supports. Boom, 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 boom. And if I want it to be strong, I need supports absolutely everywhere. It's okay. I think we still can make a lot of progress today. I have a lot of testing that I need to do. I have a lot of building that I still can do. Now these are great. So many of these in like lilac. It's a pretty great color. I think I'm gonna put these in here actually. Sometimes I will bag them up separately, but there's actually room for once in this drawer. So. I spent a long while yesterday building something. I went to the store and then I spotted a set for a good deal. It was this rabbit. So I bought the rabbit and then I built a basket for the rabbit along with some flowers and some eggs. And I think it's really adorable. It's going to be my Easter post. So you got a little handle on it that you can adjust. It goes all the way down. I just broke it. It is, I mean, somewhat strong. Definitely not as strong as a normal Lego set. But it's pretty cute. It's a great set, actually, this bunny. I got it for 15, so. Had to, like, upgrade it a little bit. Pretty fun. Alright. Back to work. I think once we switch to working on the coaster, it may be a little bit more fun because I'll be running the track like more. Hold on. I'm still figuring out the angles here. I'll be running the coaster a lot to do tests, and that will be a little more interesting for people because as of right now, we have 0 people, which is a new low for me. I don't know why. Back when I used to stream during the Skibidi days, used to get like up to 100 people in the stream. And maybe it's because it was vertical. I mean, the quality of the stream was so much worse than it is now. So I don't know if YouTube was just pushing my channel a lot more back then. Like, I really was not doing anything that interesting. We were just watching the sub count go up, and it was every time I would pass another 10,000 subscribers. But now that I'm actually working on stuff, it's not as interesting to people, or YouTube doesn't push it. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the horizontal, but like, it's also vertical. I think it should be. Anyway, we are currently sorting out all of these brand new bricks in preparation for working on the Minecraft coaster, and also listening to music, which hopefully is not too loud. Nobody's complained about it yet, so should be good. Maybe it's too quiet. I don't know. Anyway, if you're just joining, we're going to be getting to the coaster very soon. These are some important parts that we're going to be using. Supports. I'm just stacking them all up. Let's see. Got quite a few new supports here. Less than I anticipated, but we can work with what we have. There we go. This is why I'm not a professional streamer. I don't know how to make this interesting for people. Like, I know how to make a YouTube video interesting, but stuff like that's just kind of repetitive and mindless. I guess the main thing would be like somehow getting more people in the chat so that there is a conversation that can be had. But I don't know what to talk about. Besides all the new Lego bricks. Yeah, we just unboxed a very large package of pieces, many of which will be used for the Minecraft coaster, also for Ancient Aztecs. So I'm very excited for these big projects. They're both some of the biggest I've ever done. The Minecraft coaster is the biggest build I've ever done, and it's going to take a lot of hours. We're going to be working on it a ton today on stream. It's pretty exciting. Got some brown slopes Very useful. Going towards ancient Aztecs. Hey, Grandma's in the chat. W Grandma. W's in the chat for Grandma. These are really useful for Minecraft because the texture looks like the logs in Minecraft, like the tree logs. So like the tree trunks. And also there's another use for them that I'll show you right now. This villager garden or villager farm is actually surrounded by logs. So you just surround the outside with these pieces with the vertical lines. Let me show you. And there will be a village in the Minecraft world. Ah! Hey, I have plenty more. So you just add these around. It's actually built upside down too. And then these add the texture of logs. What's up, WJ Bricks? It's going great. We're just hanging out, sorting all of these bricks that I just unboxed, and then we're going to be working on testing and building the Minecraft coaster. This one's wrong. There we go. So once I surround this whole thing with these textured bricks, then I can put it into the ground. There we go. Yeah. So you have a nice little village farm. Oh my goodness. The mirroring is throwing me off here. Villager farm. And then that'll go into the ground in the village. And then I can use these bricks also for tree trunks. Which is why I bought so many of them. I'll just put the rest in this bag. Why not? Ah! Okay. What else do we need? I'm going to be using some of these today. And quite a few of these and these. So, oh my goodness. We're going to switch over to the coaster because that's what the people really want to see, I think. Here we go. Let's see what kind of view we can get of this thing. I need to move this back even more. Okay. Here we go. Here's the current state of the coaster. I'm going to be working on this a lot today. Alright, so let me show you what we're looking at as of right now. When you start it here, it used to work very well. It rode the whole way. Now, sometimes it stops here. Actually, very often stops right here. So one of the things that I need to do is lubricate these wheels. Also, hopefully you guys can still hear me when I walk all the way back over there. And hopefully I can raise this up a little bit more. One thing that I want to do is actually get some spray. I'll be right back. I just need to grab Okay, I want to see if this actually helps. So these coasters track, sorry, what am I saying? The cars on the coaster. They used to slide much better than they do now. So I want to try spraying them a little bit. Based on all my research, this should be good, and it probably will help also. So where should I spray this, actually? I don't actually know. Let me just... So awkward. Let's see what I can do here. Let's lubricate the wheels with some of this. Get them to spin much better. See how much this does. It might actually make it a lot better, because it used to run much better. Yes, the bunker and the pyramid are still built. Egypt is completely flattened, but I kept a few things. Some of my favorite parts of Egypt are still intact. Okay. I think I could rub this in a little bit more, especially like in the axles. So you can see on this system here, maybe I can show you. These carts have wheels that it runs on. And I think, my theory is that they can just get a little bit like worn down. I mean, they're still very new. Like, I haven't had them for very long, but I think you just need to keep them lubricated. So I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, I can add some more. I think, yeah, I don't think it's fully there, but let's try it. Okay, so it made it further that time. Further than without. Actually, that's the furthest it's gone in a while. Let me... Is this crazy? Goodness. Let me just go into the table. Put a little bit in. Trying to not make a mess here. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I don't want to lubricate the whole track. That's silly. Okay, it looks smooth. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Look at that. Okay, so that's all we needed. We just needed a little spray. First Icarus Mix stream. Yo, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And Fanatics is here too. What's up, Fanatics? We are just celebrating a massive victory because these carts have not been running well at all. And I just discovered if I give them a little bit of a WD-40, silicone WD-40, which is safe for plastic, it runs a lot better, which is huge because I was having major issues with the coaster. So yeah, I just need to keep that stuff handy so that the coaster stays lubricated. Am I going back to Mexico? I plan to be in Mexico for a couple weeks this summer, but most of the summer will be here. So I will be able to work on this, thankfully. Okay, this is huge. I'm very happy that that problem is solved because it was just so unpredictable before, and now it's looking much better. Yeah, made it there, made it to here. And then this is actually where I had to stop because I ran out of supports. So all of these tracks leading to here need to be raised up to match this height. So that's what we're gonna start working on. Sorry, I don't know what this song is. This playlist is whack. All right, let's get into it. Next long form video? No, so this video will be Bricktastic. This video will be in the works for quite a while. So in the meantime, there will be one about Lego colors. And trying to remember what else. There's a few other videos that are gonna happen before this. So anyway, I'm gonna start raising up these tracks here. Maybe I can zoom in a little so you can see better. So yeah, starting here and then everything along this way all needs to be raised up, and then we're gonna see how far we can get. This is what I'm using for right now. These just 2x2 bricks stacked up. These are brand new. And then in between each stack of 10, I'm doing an octagonal, or octagonal, excuse me. Octagonal, like a hinge plate. And then that's how I keep it strong. So we're gonna go section by section here. This goes here. And then we do one of these. Boom. And then this, I think, yeah. My hands are a little bit slippery now after the WD-40. I need to figure out the best way to apply it. Okay, and then in between each one of these goes some plates and some clips. And I think I can use a combination of these. Yeah, I can. Hold on. So I just snapped together some plates and some of these clips. A little bit of this to go in between. Because even though this is all temporary, the wobble is deadly. And it can cause major unpredictability for the coaster. Can't forget an axle through here to keep everything secure. That's why I bought them. Okay, there we go. That's one section. So we're just doing that over and over. We're gonna put another one here. We're gonna add an octagon. We're gonna add a axle. And then I'm gonna stack one more here. Octagon. Axle. And then yeah, we just spam that. Pretty repetitive, but I don't know. It's pretty fun, and it's more satisfying when I can hang out and talk with you guys instead of just being by myself. So feel free to ask some questions. I can see the chat right over here. So you can ask some questions. You can tell me about ideas that you have for the channel, or just what's going on with life. That's always fun. Where is this? Oh yeah, so this is here. Little bit concerned about headroom here. I actually think, so we had switched this originally. We had a normal turn and then a down here, and I think we have to go back to that so that there's enough headroom. We're gonna have to test that out. I was pretty proud of that change, but ultimately I'm realizing why we did it the way that we did it. When I say we, I actually a lot of times am building this with my brother Simon. He's a younger kid, but he's super cool, and he does a lot of like ball contraptions and mazes and things like that. So he has a good head for this kind of thing, and he's always giving good suggestions. All right, so I think if we do it here, rather than what we had before, that's enough room. And I think now that we have the lubrication, it'll make it all the way around. So let me just test that again. For those who haven't seen the test yet, here we go. Actually, I'll zoom out a little bit. There we go. So here it comes. Boom, it made it. Boom, it made it. Boom, it made it. Goes around, boom, right in my arms. Amazing. Okay, this is so satisfying. I love Lego's coaster system. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's complicated. Yes, it can be frustrating sometimes, but it's so much fun. So let me just put it here, and we're gonna move on to the next section. So it comes around this way. I need another stack. This goes here. We do an octagon. We do an axle. And then I need another one here. Ooh. Here we go. All of these connectors are so boring but so crucial to keep this thing strong. And if you haven't seen or heard my full plan for this build, all of these supports will not be seen or even exist in the final build. It'll all be Minecraft terrain. So these connectors are temporary but still very important, because this is how we test and make sure that this layout works before we build the whole landscape around it. Ooh. Anyway, I'm really sad that I haven't been able to work on videos as much as I want to. This semester has been crazy. It's my senior year of school, and college went by so fast. Looking forward to being done, but also it's a little bittersweet. But it has been a really great semester. I just haven't been able to build really, and that's okay. But yeah, spring break is very nice. It's been a nice restful week, and I'm gonna be headed back on Sunday. Back to school. Okay. Adding supports over here on this corner. Make sure you guys can see that. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Just mass producing scaffolding, basically. Boom, boom, boom. I will say I am not sure if I have a lot of plates. Let's see what I have in my box of tricks. By the way, this is a huge box of bricks that I've collected for the coaster. And sometimes it's a little hard to find what I need. Or really even to know what I have. Yeah, I don't see any. Looking for a longer 1x1s for these supports, but I think what I've got is what I've got, and that's okay, because I have a decent amount. Basically, all of these connectors. The good thing is here on this side, they can be shorter. They only need to be 8 studs long. I'll show you. So you just do this. You do this, and that's it. If anyone is here on YouTube Shorts, I'm trying to keep it right in the center so that you can see what we've got going on here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, and then this one needs a long one. Some of my drawers are overflowing, so what I've started doing is just using the drawers that don't have space. Like, if I don't know which piece to use and it doesn't matter that much, I just go for the drawer that's the fullest because some of them don't even close right now. It's insane. I need to buy more drawers. Okay, so then we just stack this up. I guess we don't need this one. That goes there. And it all lines up. And now, if we want to run another test, we can. Because running tests is fun. And watching the coaster go is fun. So I'm going to start it here at the top. I'm just so happy that it is running properly and like smoothly. Boom. Boom. Around. Around. And to here. Let's go. So I think what I've learned is if I bring this to a convention, which I do plan to, the main thing to not forget is to bring, hold on, where am I? Here? Down a little bit. To bring some WD-40 for the coaster, because if I show up and it's not working, then everything's ruined. Alright, let's start raising it up here. This one I'm not so sure how much to add. I mean, I know how much to add, but it's a little bit trickier on this side. One cool thing about this whole thing is there will be a lot of stuff underground, but I want as much of it as possible to be visible. So hopefully it's built in a way that like this side all across the end here will be like in a cavern, so it'll be like wrapped around. So I think it's gonna be so satisfying to look at when it's all done. But anyway, right now everything is visible and it's a little ugly, but that's okay because we're still in the testing phase. This goes here and here. We do an axle here, and then this, and then this, and then the next one. How do I want to do this? This one's a little bit weird. Some of them are on top of the, like, the, what do you call it? The base plate connectors. So, the height gets a little bit tricky. One of the trickiest parts with this is like making sure everything is like perfectly lined up and not off by one plate. Because if it's off at the beginning, then it just gets more and more off, and it just gets crazy. So I think this is actually correct. Maybe I shouldn't assume. Yeah, it's not. But I can just line it up. I just need to add one more plate here. And then my math is correct. This should be right. Yeah, that looks right. And then we do, how much? Not 10, a little bit less. Right here, we need an axle. Boom. Boom. And then, what's going on with this? Is this right? So it's plate and a plate. So it should be, yeah, just one more plate here. Like this. And then here is the same thing. Here we go. Then we just run this along. Cool. Same thing here. That Should be right. This. And then how many are these? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take off another one. This goes here. And then once we get to the end of this, I can run another test, which is the best part. I love just like watching it run down. I don't think I'll ever get tired of watching the coaster run. And it's not even done yet. It's gonna be so satisfying when it's a full loop and it's motorized, and then you can just sit back and watch it work, you know? This goes here. We do a straight track here. And now that it's all nicely lubricated, it should be able to do that no problem. All right, this is here. Like that. Nice. I love having all of this so tall and elevated. It just makes a huge difference. It looks so big. All right. So we are nearing the end of our supports already, which is very lame. I really thought that I had ordered more. I'm not sure what happened. It's my own fault. I think I misclicked because I remember at one point in the cart there being like over 200 of these 2x2 round bricks. But I think I should have double checked that. We can use a few other things just to make do, but those are pretty important. All right, after I add these last few track pieces, we can run the cart again. It's actually crazy how much of a difference the WD-40 makes, and I hope that it makes the same difference every time. Like it doesn't, like the cart doesn't actually wear down permanently, because that would be concerning. That goes here, and then there's a turn right there, and then we need to raise it up again. But it should actually make it all the way based on the testing that we did before when it was all lower down to the ground. All right, let's run another test. Bring it up. Here we go. All right. I feel good about it, except for the fact that I'm out of supports already. I'm just gonna run this. Oh, stuck on. Boom. Neom. Neom. Nice. It makes it. It makes it. It makes it. It has plenty of speed. Plenty of speed. Amazing. Cool. What am I going to use now? Oh, I do need to add these as well. So these are very useful for making things strong, and I'm going to use them throughout the build. I need them here in the middle. And then I'm going to have lots more for use later on. In fact, I might use some pieces now just to go underneath those. Let's see, what do I have? I don't know. I'll do this. Use some glue. Yeah. So it's so insane how many pieces have to go into this to make it strong. It's so huge. And it's gonna be tens of thousands of pieces when it's all said and done, which is so crazy. All right. Let's go in. Maybe I'll use some of these here. I'm trying to line up colors so that when I'm putting the coaster, like the sections together, I end up with colors that align so that I can look at it and be like, oh, purple goes with purple, this one lines up with this one. And it just makes it a little bit easier for putting it together after like transporting it. Okay. I'm gonna work on this corner with the pieces that I do have, which is not much, but the cool thing is I can use pretty much whatever pieces I feel like using, and then it doesn't even matter if I wanted to use them later on, because ultimately these pieces are going to be removed when I build the actual like landscape for the world. All right, so I'm over here now. What's up? Isabel's here. Who else is here? Sorry, I'm trying to look at chat. I'm a little bit on the wrong side now. Let me turn this so I can read it. So yeah, I bought these not for any particular reason, just because they were cheap. And I think I'm going to have to use them for supports today. But who knows what I'll be using them for tomorrow. Whatever that means. Okay, let's raise this up. The nice thing is, as the track gets closer to the ground, the less supports you actually need. The problem is, it's still many supports that are required. Many bricks. So I think we do this. Oh, we need to fix this here also. Where's my brick separator? Oof. Hang on. Ah! I keep dropping things today. There we go. Put that there. That should be better. And then I'm going to get one of these. I'm really just scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point, because I didn't order the amount that I thought I did. So I'm just working with what we have. Hola! Yo! Dude, everyone's in here. Or not everyone, but my friends. That's very nice. I feel very supported. Dude, how's everybody doing? Welcome. Hi, Banjo. Hi, Jorge. I am working on raising up all of these sections, which is a pain, but it is a necessary one, because in the end, it's going to be beautiful. There we go. There's that corner done. Let's see what we need here. So this. And then one of these. Everyone's getting along in chat. Yeah, if you were not here earlier, I opened up a box of pieces and they were all in really great shape. It's all exactly what I ordered, but it turns out I thought I ordered more than I did. So I thought I had many more supports than I do, and that's why I'm running so thin without having gotten very far. But you know what? I'm so having fun. Let me just find a good song. Hopefully the music is a good length. I mean, volume. Sorry, there we go. Little life-size Lego roller coaster. I don't know how that would be possible. A life-size Lego roller coaster would be insane. I'm sure someone out there could do it, but they would need to be a billionaire. Because this project has already cost quite a bit. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's so small, you know? So small. And yet, so expensive. Just kidding. It's not small. It's not small, okay? But yeah. I like that suggestion. I would love to build a life-size roller coaster. So if you want to contribute to that fund, I'll be taking money for that exact purpose. Anyway, right now what I'm doing is just raising up all of these sections to the height that they're going to be in the final build. And it's very repetitive and parts intensive, but the main thing is just making sure that I know exactly where I want the track pieces to be in the end, and that I'm happy with the layout, and that it all flows really nicely, and that it's consistent. So, exciting things happening. I think I'm going to break out to the brand new lilac, because that's what it's for, right? Anyway. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't miss anything in chat. Yes. Yeah, it's a large playlist, so you never know what'll pop up. Just kidding, I love this song. Alright, I'll zoom back in so you can see better what I'm doing now. Is it here? Yeah. Oh, I can show you this cool thing. I can switch. Like I can do this. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty cool. I think I could become a great streamer if I felt like it. But I don't. I just like hanging out on stream. It's just a cool way to show what I'm working on. Cool way to get to know people who are watching. And yeah, make friends. Mexico video part 2. Kind of, not on my channel, but I do plan to be in Mexico this summer. People were asking about that earlier, actually. Mexico has become a big part of what I do. I won't be there the whole summer, but I would like to visit a couple weeks this summer, especially considering I'll be done with school, so that's going to be off my plate. I have a lot of things on my plate, surely, but that's one less thing at least. Also, I'm just assuming that I am at the right level for some of these, but it's looking rather off. That seems better. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and double check my math on all of these supports. To make sure that everything... Oh, let's do a little test, shall we? For the 3 people that are here. I was just talking about earlier how I don't understand why it's so much harder to get people on stream than it used to be. But we can run a little test. I lubricated the wheels of the cart so that it runs much better than it used to. I'll show you how it looks. If it doesn't go all the way, it's because it needs more WD-40. Ready? Boom. Boom. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. All the way along there. And here. This part's going to be underwater. It's actually so satisfying to finally have like almost the full layout connected in one big route. Because it used to be kind of chopped up because I didn't have the supports that I needed. But we're getting somewhere, so it's exciting. So now it turns back this way, and then goes this way, and then it goes into the end. Great, thank you. Thank you, all my best, most loyal fans. I love you all. All right, let's do some more of this lilac color. It's not the best way to build supports. Not as strong as building it with these or with, can you see? No, you can't. Where is it? These round ones. Quality of the stream. Okay, good. Okay, good. That's really great to hear. I'm glad the quality is better. That's what I don't understand, because the quality is better than it was. Like, I used to just do it on my phone. They didn't really do anything special, and it wasn't even that interesting. And yet, I had like up to 100 people on a stream at one time. But now, I don't know. I don't know where the people are. And I think I did everything right. But just doesn't work. I don't know if it'll make it all the way to here. I need to test that actually. Like, can I do another straight before I do a down? Or is it going to be too slow? Let's try it. Okay, it makes it, but just barely. And then right here is actually where it's going to go down into the portal. So I need to make sure to include that. Definitely concerning because I'm quickly running out of space to go down. I think this whole part is probably going to have to be controlled by tires on the side of the track rather than gravity. I don't know why this is here. One of my siblings put that there. Okay, so this is the thing. So I use this combination of tracks to go down through the portal. But it goes down very, very sharply. And so right here, I just completely run out of space to go down anymore. So I think at this point, it's going to have to rely on just momentum. And if it's not enough momentum, it's going to have to rely on putting tires on the side of the track that are motorized that push it along. That's not something that I wanted to experiment with, but it's something that I think I'm going to have to do. So I think I'll have that here. I think it makes sense to have it here. The other tricky thing is the seams in between the base plates has to line up with the seams between tracks so that the sections can be easily taken apart. So that is another factor to consider when I'm designing this. So yeah, it just gets complicated. But I feel prepared to tackle any issue that may come my way. There's no way to know what those actually might be. So I'm just stacking up bricks, which I have been known to do many a time. These can go, this is going to be a straight here. And then this part will be underground, but it'll be all exposed to the outside because it'll be in a cave. And actually this part will be in the stronghold itself. Minecraft stronghold. And then, how did we end up here? I need to get some more plates. Stack it up. Stack it up. Okay, we're done stacking it up. Now we move on to the next thing, which is stacking it up. Right here, I think. Sorry, I can't play this song. Mr. Beast could never. I agree. Mr. Beast doesn't know how to do this kind of thing. This is master builder level building at work. Mr. Beast doesn't even know. Also, if I talk like that, can you still hear me? Like if I talk under my breath? Mr. Beast doesn't even know. Like, how does that sound? Is it too quiet? Also, is the music drowning out my voice? Or is it too quiet or too loud? How does it sound? Like a directive in the corner when the shadow always there. He just hopes that they forgive. Sounds good? Okay, good. That is really, really good. Because this is the first time that I'm using OBS. And it's pretty cool. It's a little bit easier than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be super complicated. But there's still a lot of trial and error involved. Which is okay, because that's what I'm doing with this coaster also. So just, my whole life is trial and error right now. Okay. How's this? How's the height here? Is this what I want? No, this is not what I want. I want this. And this, I think. Right. Is that correct? Okay, so I know you guys can't really see. Let me show you. Audio's really good? Okay, good. So I'll show you. I can only go so far with the camera. Can you see this? So right here, not only do I have to now weave among all of these previous supports that are in the way, but I also only have a brick and 2 plates of clearance between the coaster and the bottom. And that's okay, because this is going to be the lowest point of the whole track. And that means it's going to be a lot easier to design this whole part that's low down here. But the tricky part is there's like barely any room. So I can't go down anymore. And I also, if I want to motorize stuff, it has to be really low to the ground, which gets really tricky. But I think I could do it. It's also kind of annoying because none of these supports are going to be here in the end. So like technically they're not in the way at all because I could put tracks wherever. But right now I need to keep them here because they're important. Which leads me to another question of, do I take this part apart because I know it works? I just record where the things are. I know it works, and then I just move on. Or is that silly? I think that's kind of silly. Also, I'm just gonna, maybe right here, switch this out. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to show this whole thing. All right, let's do another test. Since we made it all the way down to here, I don't know how much speed it's gonna get out of this big ramp, but I want to see how much speed I can get. Because if I don't need to motorize anything down here, that would be amazing. But also, this part probably should be a little bit slower than the rest of the build. And so if it just zooms through and then leaves, that's a bit of a problem also. So I don't really know what the outcome is going to be. But if you stick around, we'll see how far it can make it down in this lower part. And I'll zoom out so you can see the whole track as well. Oh, someone left. They weren't listening. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna do this. And that lines up nicely. So I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Let's pull it back. Here we go. All right, let's run it. Let's see what we got. This is already some nice progress compared to what we started with, because now we can run almost the full track from start to finish without any major issues. So here we go. So it makes it there, which is what it was struggling with before. You can do all of that. You can do all of that. Okay, it goes down there. Okay, so that ramp gives it a lot of speed. And I'm thinking that we're gonna be okay without any motorization at the bottom. I'll show you again. I'm gonna be the next president of Mexico. Let's go. Oh, Lego engagement ring? I should make a Lego engagement ring. I wonder who I'm gonna propose to. I don't know who it would be. Who knows? Okay. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. All right. So I think this part down at the bottom, it's going fast enough, because this ramp, if I can show you somehow, I'll show you how fast it's going here. I'll run it again. I know you can't really see it. So it goes down here quite a bit. Can I get it to focus there? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Focus right there. This ramp, it goes down like a lot. And this is when it goes into the end. So it goes down, and then there's a lot of momentum. So I can put curves in here, I can put whatever, and it doesn't need to go down anymore until it grabs back onto the chain lift to bring it back. But right now I need to figure out what my layout's going to be for this part down here. And then I have to start building a lift to take it back up to the top, which is a little crazy. I don't want to worry about that right now, but I'm going to need like 1,000 more of these or more. Also, I need to put that back. Okay. Actually, let me just run this part again so I can show you how fast it's going. There we go. All right. I'm just going to start it here. It's going to go backwards. Oh, hold on. It didn't start with enough speed. So it's going to come here, and it's going to be zooming. Ready? Ah! Why? Why? Okay, so the tolerance is not great, I think, because if it doesn't have the initial velocity, you know what it is? I think we're running out of lubrication. I was wondering how often I needed to lubricate it. All right, we'll start it one more time at the top. If it doesn't make it, then that means I have to lubricate it like every 20 minutes or something. If it's running constantly, and this is, goodness, there's got to be a better way. See, this is what I'm talking about. This stuff, if it doesn't, I don't understand how Lego does it, because they design sets that work perfectly like almost every time. All right, whatever. So it goes down, and then it's going really fast right there. So the other option is to have it go down and then quickly go back up. To slow it down a little bit. So like here, I can have this be up. So that slows it down a little bit and gives me one more chance to have a down, which I think is better. Does it get in the way of the supports? Right here, and then it goes up. Okay, it just barely fits through there. That's funny. All right. So that's my next thing that I want to test. So since it has so much speed, we can have it go up just a little bit. So you can have it go up just a little bit. Actually, right here, what I have is a really sharp down and then a short track, and then it goes up a little bit. And I think that's probably what I want to do again. That brings it all the way to the far corner, which is good. So let's do that. So at this point, I'm not even like adding supports anymore. I'm actually fully designing the next part of the track because we have made it to here, so we can do that. So let me try. Let me actually do a full long straight. See how that looks. The like managing speed and gaining and then losing speed gets so crazy and so difficult. And that's like something where this compared to a real life coaster is like nothing. Because designing a real life coaster has got to be insane because it has to work every single time or someone could die, you know? So this is nothing compared to that. So I think it has enough speed to go down and then right here to go up a little bit. So that brings it a little bit higher and gives me a little bit more room to do something. The problem is going up really slows it down. So it has to go down one more time sooner than later. So let's see exactly where I want to do that. So maybe it goes straight here. Oh man. This is tricky because I don't know exactly where the lift is going to be. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot to figure out. I'm going to switch back to the other side, maybe? Maybe I can pull the table. There we go. Okay. So, we're over here now. You can like barely see it because it's blocked by all the supports. Can you see this at all? Not really. Sorry, one second. I'm gonna just go like this. And then here. Boom. Okay. How's that? So you can kind of see it. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out now is how much I want to snake around the bottom of this before I go back to here and then underneath all of this and then back up. And everything up to this point works very well. And I hope to continue that trend. Let me grab my bricks here. And let's see what we can do. Let's see if it has enough momentum to do a whole nother full straight track, turn, and then go down. So it's very interesting because this whole section that I'm here, that I'm on this side, is the nether and the end. So this top part is the nether. It's going to go through the portal into the nether. Then it's going to go back out. And then later on, when it's lower down, it'll come through here and it'll be underneath the nether. And it'll be in the end. And I plan to build all of this in full detail. So that's like a whole nother side of things that you guys can't even really see yet. But I've been collecting pieces, buying pieces, to get this to where it needs to be. All right. While we have some people in here, we should run another test because I see we have a few more people joined. And I know that's what everyone really wants to see. So let me zoom out and give you guys a little example of how the coaster's looking because it is very satisfying. There we go. Okay. I will say last time I tested it, it was not like lubricated, and so it did not run great. Oh, right when I say that, people leave. That's crazy. Just kidding. I don't know why people leave. Doesn't really matter, but let me spray this. This thing is gonna be like very oiled up by the time I'm done with this, because it's actually insane how much lubricant this requires to get it to like run consistently. Okay, that should be enough. I'm gonna have to like monitor, like if I put this at a convention or something, I'm gonna have to stand here and monitor it like crazy. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay, it made it. It made it. It made it. It goes. It goes. Perfect. Okay, that's very close. That's a little concerning, but not too hard to fix. And then when it gets over here, it still has lots of speed. So that's what we want. Let me do it one more time. On that side, it's very close to stopping. Ah, why? I'm concerned that like at some point, no amount of lubricant will fix it, and it's annoying because these cars are like barely used. So the answer is like just buying cars. Okay, good. Great. Okay, cool. Yeah, the good thing with this like really steep ramp that I do is that it gets a lot of speed. So once I'm over here, even though I'm low, it's enough speed to really just like keep it going. And I want to like zigzag through here a little bit, but these supports really get in the way. So let me see what we can do. Like I can't like right here, I kind of spiral around a little bit, and I can't really do that down here at all. And I also can't go any further than this. So, maybe, okay, it won't fit through here if I don't get rid of this. But maybe I turn it here. Or I do a little short one. Actually, I forgot. I have these. I haven't used these at all. These really short coaster track pieces that I can use. I haven't used them yet because I just got them, but I think that's what I need for right here. So let me just stack it up. All right, so it goes back up here, turns. I know you can't see this, I'm sorry. It's all the way back here. I need to, should I turn this whole table maybe? Okay, if this doesn't get people to watch the stream, I don't know what will. I'm turning the table instead of moving the camera. This is crazy. All right. So then we're over here now. Go down right here. All right. Maybe I can get it to focus a little bit too. Can you guys see that okay? Right here? Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. So it goes here, and we still have room to go down one more time. And I think if we can, I'll have that down be right where the lift is going to be. So it comes here, it turns, it zigzags. Let's go down a little bit more. Yeah, it comes here, zigzags. Okay. And then maybe it goes back. These supports are super annoying. All right. So I need another one of these short tracks here. All right. this, this. Let's do this for now. Wait. There we go. And then I need to turn maybe this, but it's like so in the way. Will this support itself if I just start taking out pieces from the bottom? All right. This is not good. I'm trying to get this out of the way so that I can put track here in the bottom, but this is like barely supported now. It's okay. I think it's fine. I mean, we know this top part works, so like we can just ignore that. Sorry, I know you still can't see this really. Can you see that? Yeah, I just took these out from the bottom. So that allows me to turn this way. This is still like in the way of the minifigures, I think, though. Yeah. So let me take out. Okay, we know this part works. As long as it doesn't collapse, it's fine. It's still kind of strong. And hopefully not too wobbly. All right. And also that frees up some supports that I can put on that side later. Or for the lift, actually. So it turns back this way. And then this way again. And it's kind of zigzagging around the Ender Dragon. Like the main like portal in the end to go back can be here. This. And then I need, oh my goodness, I gotta go all the way over here. Stack these up. I really, really hope that it still has enough speed to make it all the way around and back. Let's try it again. We lubricated it. Should be good. As long as this coaster doesn't collapse. Zoom out. Okay. All right, it's going on that side. It's going. And then right here. Okay, so it does stop here. So that's what I figured. And so what I can do is have some tires, because we are higher now. So I can have some tires on the side to push it along. Or I can make it go down again, but I only have one down left. Okay. I only have one down left, and I want to save that for probably over here. So this part, I guess it's fine to have some tires. It shouldn't be too hard to motorize now that it's higher off the ground. No, I don't want to do that. I really do not. That just adds so many things that can go wrong. So instead, I need to have it go down here, I think. Okay, and if this gives it enough speed to make it all the way to where I want the lift to be, we're golden. If it doesn't, then I need to figure something else out. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay. So that should give it some more speed. It has to come around this way. And it has to come back to here to go back up to the left. And it can't go down anymore. So it gets kind of insane. Especially because the support is in the way again. Oh my goodness. This is going to require a lot of testing and a lot of tweaking. This whole side part is I mean, like, there's only so much I can do so low to the ground. Like, so I'm just trying to go in a little bit of a zigzag to keep it interesting. So it goes here. Let's see how much speed it has. Alright, we're running the track. It's working, it's working, it's working, it's going. Thank you, Lord. Okay, it comes to here. Decent amount of speed. So if we can just keep that up. The problem with this is, like, having so many turns really slows it down. So if I had it go straight, it could be better. But also, straight is boring. So maybe it just goes around here. Yeah, that's nice, actually. You know what? Especially, so down in the end, there's going to be the pillars, like the black obsidian pillars. Those are going to be supporting the nether. And so it's going to be dodging and weaving those also. So having one right here could be really nice. So it goes around that. It goes here. It goes... It's also so nice being able to add more tracks with less supports because we're so low now. Also, so sorry, I'm like far away from chat. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Okay, we just have all my friends and all my family. That's great. That makes me very happy. So now it comes back to here. It kind of loops around in a nice way. I don't know if you can really see that. It loops around in a satisfying way. So it goes like that. Let me make sure it's focused also. There we go. So yeah. So this part right here can actually be a end pillar. And then it's here. And then the lift is going to begin to go back up to the surface. And that's going to be somewhere here. One tricky part is the lift requires a little bit of speed to get up into the chain. So I could do that with a down, but I don't have room. So it's going to have to be a tire there, but that's okay. And I want it to come up somewhere here. Not sure yet. Maybe here. I think makes sense. So yeah, it's going to come up through the village, I think. Actually, yeah, I want to line it up with this. So let me make it. Yeah, this is getting really dicey because I'm just trying to build and work around all of the stuff that I've already built, and it just gets so spaghettified. Here, maybe? It starts to come up. I think that's fine. We could have it, well, we'll see how much speed it has. But it does need, I need to make room for it here. Goodness gracious. This is so scary because if I deconstruct too much of the supports, everything just falls apart. Alright. If it breaks, you guys can you can tell me where things went, right? And just be like, oh yeah, that track was there, and then that went there. And then I'll be able to reconstruct it based on that. Okay, so hopefully it can come up right underneath that. Oh, it can't. I need to go forward a little bit more, which is okay. Sorry, I know you guys like probably don't can't quite see what I'm doing. Let me do this. Sorry, I'm just like moving all over the place. It comes up through here. So it starts there. So I need to get rid of this connector also. Whew. This is getting dicey. Right here. Right here is where it comes up. That's my final answer. And then it just connects like that. Oh yeah. Okay, that seems right. From there on, we still need to figure that out, but we can officially say that this is where the lift is going to start. Which means, before we get any further, we need to test to make sure it can get to there. Or at least as close to there as possible before a rubber tire on the side of the track takes over. So I'm just going to put some tiles down to strengthen this part. I think I needed one. Where did I need one? There was a part where it wasn't very strong, but I don't know. Let's do a test. Let me actually zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing. Okay. It makes that. It goes over here. It makes that. It makes that. Very slow, but it works. Slow there, but it works. Down there, around. Okay, and it makes it to here. I'll show you. It makes it to right here. It's not in focus. So it makes it to right here, and the lift starts right here. So all I need is some tires on this side that give it the extra propelling to zoop, and then it gets caught by chain lift number 2, and then starts going up. Cool. I feel really good about that. I think that's what we needed. I'm having to deconstruct a lot of this, which is concerning. There we go. It has to go straight up through here. Honestly, we're getting a lot of support pieces back, which is great. Okay. So this has to come up. I'll show you. This lift here has to come up to the surface, come around, and then meet up to this. If we can do that, I'll be very happy. If we can do that today, I'll be very shocked, because I'm going to need a lot of supports to get it up here to this height. And a lot of supports is what we don't have. We did get quite a few out of ripping apart a lot of these supports, but I don't know. This stuff, I always think I have a lot of it, and then it turns out I don't. But I'm going to work with what I have. So I'm going to be very strategic with my use of the supports. I think also here with the lift, it's going to be very important to be supported. And I'm trying to reuse as much as I can the stuff that I took apart. This this is so scuffed. It's all turned around the place. When does it need? Wait, sorry, I'm looking at chat. When is it gonna be finished? That is a great question. Probably at the end of this year, if I can. If I can do that. I don't know if that's doable, but that's my goal. I don't want it to go into next year. Okay, I think at this point I'm gonna switch the table back to where it was. I think it'll be a little easier to see. There we go. Alright, is that good? Can you see this part right here? This is what I'm working on. So we just need to bring this up. I'm gonna grab everything that I ripped off of this side so that I have it available to use over here. Yep, and then we use this. Boom. I'm gonna have to double check my math here again later, but not right now. Oh dear. This is something I didn't really think about. What happens if the lift doesn't line up? Does it? It kind of looks like it does, actually. I'm very surprised. I guess it has to, right? Because it's 2 of these is 16. It just didn't look like it because it was leaning down so much. Okay. So this actually needs to be moved. So it's gonna be like this, maybe? I actually don't have a lot of experience with the math of the lifts sections, because originally I was planning to do them in gray. I was planning to do them a different way, and that just did not work out. So I'm having to use these green ones and then paint them. I don't think I can paint any of the other tracks because the paint on the tracks will mess with the coaster. But I do think I can paint these because it's just going to be pulled up by the chain lift. Although, if it turns out that it doesn't work that way, that would be a big problem. But I'll worry about that later. So, I'm just eyeballing this right now. I don't know how tall it needs to be, but I'm just gonna try to see where we get. It is interesting though, because at this point, like, most of the track is complete besides like the last bit here at the top, which is pretty huge. Building a whole loop like this and making it like connect back up in a satisfying way is pretty hard. And it's also interesting because like the place that I started building the track, like technically I started with this part that's hanging, but I don't think that's going to be the actual start of the coaster. if that makes sense. I think technically it'll start right at the top of this lift that I'm building now. I think makes sense. Let me just add some tiles here. Because this lift will come to the surface and like emerge out of the surface here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to build around that, because there's supposed to be a village right here. But I don't know how this is really going to get in the way. The nice thing is, I'll show you. The nice thing is the tallest parts of the coaster are towards the back. So you're looking at it from the front. This is like a big mountain. This lift is also towards the back, and it's going to come to like here. So the lower parts are towards the front, which gives a nice visual layout. Let's see. Does this line up with this? It should, right? I get... Yes, it does. Okay, so I can build a support up from here that this can go to, which is actually a really big deal, because I wasn't sure how I'm going to work with these supports at all. So I'm going to do that. Do this. Where should I also build a support? It's pretty crazy because these are like the best pieces to use for supports, but they get pretty expensive. So trying to find a whole bunch of them without breaking the bank is hard, and that's why I've used so many of these like round bricks, these ones. So I've used a mixture. So how high do I want this lift to go? I have plenty of chain, and I have plenty of lift because I really did not want to run out. So it can go actually really high. That looks sweet. I can't exactly support it from here, but it can go like up there. What supports do I have left? This? It's like barely anything, I think. Yeah, just this. Okay. Wonderful. Oh, I also have, if I really want to go crazy, I have these. Whoops. And, no, not these. These, which are also great for supports. So I'm going to start stacking these up, actually. So I'm going to want probably one support here-ish. Right, lined up with this. Yeah. Maybe I can get away with not buying anything more for this version 1 stage. Maybe I can save some money. Great song for all the Skibbity people who left that were here before. Okay. I'm no longer double checking my math. I will have to do that. As of right now, I'm just building a tower. These arch pieces are great because you can just alternate them and build up a really strong, simple structure quickly with not that many pieces. And you just go back and forth, and then you just build up a tower. And I got these, I got a whole bunch of these from the Pick-a-Brick wall at the Lego store. And these are definitely going to come in really handy for come in really handy for the inside of the Minecraft structure. Oops. Because I'm gonna have a lot of elevation, and they need to be, everything needs to be supported, everything needs to be connected, but not stuffed full of expensive bricks. So keeping it hollow is a good way to do that. All right, we're getting closer. This is a crazy tower. All right, right about here, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna use these. There we go. So, not sure exactly where this lines up, but it should be here. Does that look right? Or is it off by one? I don't know, this has 2 plates? Yeah, so this should have 2 plates also. Lego math gets crazy. It's also so satisfying. Okay, so that helps a lot. That little tower, or big tower actually. We're gonna go up some more. I don't know how high I want to go here at the top. This is really all an unknown because I didn't know how far I would get. I probably will need another tower here. Let's see what we can do. Maybe here. So yeah, right now I am building up another bridge. I wonder I wonder how much speed I could get if I started it at the top of this hill and went down backwards. It might fly off the track. I want to try that. Okay. We're putting in another tower here to support this part, which is potentially the tallest part actually. I was thinking this mountain would be. This part's gonna be desert slash like badlands. So very dry. And it's gonna have the tall, like, striped mountains. I'm thinking this is about as tall as I want to go for it, because it only needs to come around here and then come back to here. I don't know if it's gonna loop. I'm not really sure how I want to do that yet. I need to envision like going around tall spires. And this actually is very similar to how coasters are in real life, where you have one very long lift, you go a little bit, and then you do one more short lift, I think, to bring you a little bit higher. But it's a little bit different because here the technical like start of it is after the lift and not before this very tall lift. I think the start of it, so like this part here will be almost darkness, complete darkness, and then it'll emerge, and that's when it like starts. So let me grab another plate here. For more support. It has to come up into this. See, that seems excessive. It does not need to be that high. So I'm thinking here, and then this is still the highest point, but this is pretty close. So here it comes down like this, comes around, probably. Is there any reason for it to come around this way and through? Could be fun. Is it necessary? I don't know. Do I have track pieces for that? Yes. I believe so. This part, I don't know. Well, yeah, let's just try that. I think it could be cool. So it comes up, comes here, around and underneath itself to here. This corner is still a little bit like bare, which I don't like. I don't know. We'll try this. This tower probably should be... I actually don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. Maybe I should... Maybe I should do this. Is that going to be in the way? Hold on. I really want to try running the coaster backwards down the lift. No, that's not in the way at all. And then I'm going to do another stack of this. Here. Here. Yeah, and then that can support it a little bit more. So actually this tower is not super necessary. So let's say it comes down, comes around. No! I do think, honestly, it's very surprising, but I do think that I could potentially have the full loop built today. Not motorized, but at least built, which is a huge deal. So it does that. Oh wait, that's too high. Do I have any more just round bricks left? Also, by the way, I do have plenty of chain left over for this. We're not running out of chain, thankfully. And actually, I'm gonna run the chain pretty soon to see how it's gonna run, and then next time I'll be looking at how to connect motors to it and get that to work, which is very exciting. It's gonna go here, here-ish. I really need to figure out my math. It's getting super sketch. Let me just grab this. I already worked out like my math on these tall parts, so I know that they're correct. But like here, I'm just like looking at it and doing what looks correct. Thankfully, each of these are in multiples of, I think, 16 or at least 8. And so that means that the length of it this way should be correct, because I'm like, the base plates are in multiples of 8, all the tracks are. So if it lines up here, it should line up, like I assume it lines up here. The only tricky part is the height of things. Like that feels too high, but it could potentially not be too high. Like maybe it's one plate too high. No one knows. So I'm just gonna pretend that that's right. And then what we're gonna do, okay, so I love these track pieces because they go down and turn at the same time, but they only can turn to the right. So here I want it to go around to the left and underneath, but that means I can't have one going down like this until here. So I'm gonna have to have another down, I think, to get enough speed. But I don't know, we'll go around this way. And it's gonna go around a big spire of sorts. Unless, I don't know, this is trying to visualize where the landscape will be. I feel like the spire is gonna be more towards the back here. Maybe it should turn to the right, because I don't want there to be so much height here, really. Maybe it turns to the right. This is a little bit tricky though, because I don't think this lines up with this. So I have to make it go turn to the right at some point. So can I do a full spiral maybe? Like maybe it does this. Spiral. No, that's too much. Too much spiraling action. That just gets way too crazy. So I think it does have to turn to the right. Unless I want to move the whole entire lift, which I really do not. I guess I can move this part over. So the problem is here, this does not line up in a straight line with this, which is where I needed to get it to. And there's no way to make this part go this way anymore unless it turns to the left all the way around to this side. So instead, I have to push this that way 4 studs? How? No, it can't be 4 studs. Is it? There's not really any way to tell from here. I think I have to build it out some more and just see where we end up. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. This is very exciting. I feel like I should run another loop. Have the coaster go around again. Haven't done that in a while. Does anyone in the chat want to see that? Does anyone want another loop? So that gives it a lot of speed. Like I'm wondering if maybe we do this, then we go like this. That could be nice actually. Come back around like that. And that would mean I don't have to move this, because it would give me a chance to stick this out a little bit. Maybe I should do that. I like that. Let's try it. Let's go. As of right now, I'm just using random whatever colored tiles to connect the tops of these. but I do have lots of gray. But the problem is I'm going to be using gray for the track and for all the cobblestone and the stone. So I'm going to need a lot of those pieces. Anyway, let's extend this by how much? Oh. This is all very precarious right now. Right now we're in the testing phase. Extend this by 6. Or not 6, 8. Do I have an 8? Yes. I do. These are actually running out of, interestingly. Hopefully I'll have enough. So it comes all the way up to here. I'm definitely going to have to build another tower. It comes all the way up to here, then turns left. Then comes to here, turns left, turns right, and then we just have to extend this by however much it's off, and then we'll be good to go. And I think that will be perfect. Let me just grab this. Alright, let me strengthen it. Well, strengthen it. It's not going to be that strong at all right now. Really not a big deal at the moment. As long as it supports its own weight, I can build all the supports you need later, okay? So then it turns this way. I'm going to build up this tower. It turns this way. This is actually a pretty good layout, I think. If it can all come together in the end, I will be shocked and very happy. Maybe take, running, get up. So it needs to be here. This needs to be here. I'm gonna move this whole tower. Move this whole tower over to here. And then I'm going to build out from this side now because it needs to line up, I think, like this. So I need another 8 long track. The question is, did I use them all up? Those are very useful. Do I have any left in here? I don't think so. Okay, so interestingly enough, we have lots of turns. Okay, there's one more here. I think we'll have just enough. And if we don't, we can rearrange as needed. So it's going to be here. This is going to turn this way. And then there's going to be a loop here. And it'll all be connected. I really hope. This is a big deal. This coaster's been sitting here for a while. Completely disconnected. Like, it had all these different sections that didn't quite line up. And now for once, we are lining it up. Although this looks a little bit sketchy as far as the height goes. I'm concerned by that. I'm thinking this needs to be this. It's also possible that we need to get rid of one more lift section. Because there's a lot of down happening that really doesn't need to be happening, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm gonna run another test just for fun. We haven't really changed too much. It's not gonna be able to go up this lift, obviously. But I just want to do it because it's fun. Where is the Oh, right here. All right, ready for a test? I haven't lubricated super recently. Lubricated the wheels. So this is definitely a question mark. It goes, it goes, it goes, it goes around, it goes, it goes, it goes. And makes it right to here. And then from here, it'll go zoop. Up here, up, 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 and then it'll come around there. So fun. So fun. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this. Ready? Holy moly! It picks up so much speed when you do that. And just like, imagine if it went down and then just had like straight track, straight track, straight track forever. It could go so far. These wheels are incredibly smooth. And like this whole system that Lego has, it works really well. I'm also starting to think that the WD-40 will eventually spread onto these tracks some more and allow them to be a little bit slicker as well. And I think when that happens, it'll happen gradually, but when that happens, it'll run smoother. So my thing here, I'm thinking this whole part probably needs to be down some. It is, I like the height. I just think it causes a lot of problems. The other option is have this lift be even shorter than it already is. Take out a section here. And then link it up with the lift right here instead. The slight issue with that is that makes this a lot less of a mountain, but I think I'm okay with that. It's still the highest point. And then that also makes this not come down as far, which is probably a good thing. So let's try it from there. So here it needs to turn to the left. Right here, and then turn again. This whole part is very unsupported, but I really don't have the pieces to support it or the patience at this moment in time. And I can just balance it like that. So let's pretend that this is good. How's the height? So right now this is like right in line with where I brought this up to. So it really can't go down anymore. In fact, I think it's like right in line. So as long as this spiral gives it enough speed to make it to here, I'm okay with that. The question is, does it line up? So I put another normal turn. Here. It's off by 4. How did it get off by 4? That's a great question. There are 3 4s over here. So that would equal, so the one of the 4s cancels out to an 8. It's because they're all multiples of 8. So it is off by 4. Because in the end dimension, I used 3 4-long sections. If that makes any sense to you, that's awesome. I'm glad. So here, all I need, supposedly, is 1 straight, and then that makes it a perfect loop. Does that look right? It's sagging because it's not supported, but that does look right. And it also looks really good. And feels really good. Okay. So let me just move this tower one more time to a better place. Also, I forgot that some people might be watching this on mobile, and I am not in the center of the frame. Let me just shift again. Okay. Alright, so this tower, I did that and then I totally forgot what I was actually doing. This tower belongs here. Make sure it doesn't interfere with previous track. And then we'll see how high it needs to be. Oh man, this is very stressful because things could be off and there's barely any way to really tell. So, looking from above, it actually does look like it's off. Like, I think this needs to just be this. Take out a 4. Yes. That's better. I think that's right. Obviously, I need to do a lot more measuring than just I think, but for right now, that is legit sauce, if I've ever seen it. Yeah. I think we're cooking. Okay. Let me just add a few more tiles so that the coaster does not explode randomly from the G-forces and such. Okay, this part is very wobbly, of course. Something that I can fix later. Okay, so now we have 2 lifts. We have a full loop. We know that almost all of it works correctly. Does it work if I do this? I don't think so. So let's do another test, because this stream is building and testing. So from right here, the chain drops it off. It goes down. Okay, it's not going to sag nearly that much, obviously. If I hold it, does it make it back to the second lift? Oh gosh. This is a crazy sound. Okay, all of the WD-40 is getting on my hands and everything and making it really weird, but yeah, it makes it to here. That's all we need. Oh gosh. Okay, I need to strengthen these. I am a big fan of this layout and how this final part turned out. I think what's really nice is this whole part here is decently separated from this part. This is above ground, this is below ground. It goes into the underground right here. Comes out of the underground right here. This is a mountain. So this whole part here is a big cave. This part I was worried was going to be too close to the underground, but there's plenty of clearance. It feels really good. So I'm going to say that this, barring any Lego math adjustments, is the final layout. And the 4 people who are in the stream right now, you guys are the first people to see the final layout of the coaster. And I actually have a lot of track pieces left, which makes me wonder if I should add any extra track anywhere, but I really don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I ended up with a lot of track actually. And I was worried that I wouldn't have enough. I don't know. It's definitely still can be changed, but I'm really liking this. And I think this is a great time to run the coaster all the way through, or as much as I can without the lifts. So right now I'm starting it here at the highest point. Technically, this is the start. So Nether, Overworld, Village, Underground, Lush Cave, on Ocean, Stronghold, End, and then here it links up with the lift. Comes back out of into the overworld. Not that. Oh man, this is lowering my cortisol. I'm feeling very pleased, very happy. So it comes back to here, does another little loop, and then back to here. And when it hits this, it should have enough momentum, but I can add another motorized tire. I don't know what causes this, I gotta be honest. Like why sometimes it just doesn't. Like it just gets off. I don't know how that happens really. I guess it just, the chain needs to be aligned properly. Try it again. Okay, now it's stuck. Why no work? Okay, this? Yeah, okay, that works. Okay, and then that's fine. This is going to be like a mine shaft on this side. Comes around the front, all the way over here, and back to the left. I'm loving this. I genuinely can't imagine how this could be any better. I do have lots of track left, but I really don't know where I can put it. Let's collect all the extra track. Let's see what we have. So we are left with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 normal curve track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 normal down track. 1, 2, I think this is it from what I'm seeing. 2 normal straight track. 2 down turn track. 2 of these like up ramps, and then I'm only seeing 1 of these down ramps. Oh, here's 1 more straight. We also have 1 8 long straight and a couple 4 long straight tracks. You can see 3 of them. And then we have 5 hill tracks left over. So actually a decent amount. I'm glad that I have extra and not too few. Here, I'll show you. Can you see that? We have these here, big pile of these. We have these, we have these, we have these, we have these, and these. So honestly, enough to make a little small coaster if I really wanted to. But right now the layout is feeling really good to me. There might be some parts where I could add some more track. Right now I don't really know where I could do that. I feel like everything is pretty good. The problem with adding more track is it requires more speed, which just requires more height. The main thing that's propelling the car forward is gravity, and the more tracks you add, the more you need the cart to go down. And right now, my lowest point is literally at the base of the table. So if I did add more track, I feel like it'd be really, really hard to incorporate it with enough speed. All right, ready? Wow, it slides so well. I couldn't be more happy with that. The only way that I would be able to get more height is if I wanted one of the lifts to be taller, which is a possibility. I do have I have a few more lift sections and I have lots of chain. But I'm feeling good about this height. Any taller and it's just going to require so many more bricks. Because if you remember, like, this whole coaster is going to be surrounded by a world, like a Minecraft world, which is going to require a lot of pieces. So I think we can call this good. I'll see what my brother thinks, because he has been a huge help in the coaster design, and I think he might have some ideas. But yeah, we just went from version 1 of the coaster to final coaster layout. I'm going to run this a few more times because it's very satisfying. Unfortunately, it's not motorized yet. Oh, actually, before I do, let me run a chain. Actually, no, I can't. The supports aren't really ready for it yet. So there's going to be a chain here, and this is kind of tricky. So this chain will run all the way up this lift and go to here, I think. Or maybe it can go to here. But I just, it's going to be a lot of trial and error getting this thing motorized and running consistently and smoothly. I'm just glad that I'm not designing a real coaster, because that would be so much worse than designing a Lego coaster. So much harder. Let me just do this. Wait. Okay. So this is going to be here. If I can fit my face. It is actually pretty crazy how low some of this track is. It's dangerously low to the ground, meaning that there's not a lot of room for structural, like stability bricks on the actual base of the build. But anyway, there we go. Now I have a full chain, and I definitely have enough chain. To be honest, only a little bit left, which is surprising. But let me run the cart. Maybe I'll run the cart for a while until more people show up, and then I'll say goodbye. It's feeling so good. Oh, except for right here where it's completely broken. This part is not supported at all, so that's why it fell apart. I'll do that again. Okay. It runs really well. I was really concerned that we were going to have problems, but with the WD-40, it runs smoothly. And the thing is, this is This is the least smooth it'll ever be because it's dealing with wobbly supports, some track that's not fully like pushed down and connected yet. So it'll run like this or better once it's all said and done. And I'm super duper happy with it. I think it's a really fun layout. I think maybe one thing I would change is on this front part, just swapping out these two tracks. Because this is the part where I think it's the slowest. And if it went down a little bit sooner, that could make a big difference. So it comes out of the ocean into the stronghold, and that feels a little bit better. Okay, let's run it again. I think that'll help a lot with that front part. Let's watch it. Down, zoom in. Oh yeah. Yeah, that feels better. And then it'll come up the lift all the way to here. Zoop. And then it'll go around this. Oh, this chain gets in the way. There's not really any way for me to get out of the way, but yeah. Then it just comes here, goes up the second lift. Oh man. This is a big deal. It's very encouraging, very exciting. Wow. So crazy. Alrighty, well, I think that's going to be my stopping point for today. Let me just make sure you can actually see me. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. I think we got a lot of really great work done. I was able to talk to some people and hear how people are doing and make a lot of progress, which I feel like is going to be a major deal for this build going forward. And I'm feeling really good about it. The only thing that could be better is having this somehow have a little bit more speed when it makes it to this lift, so I don't have to have motorized tires here at the bottom. But I'm okay with that. I don't think there's really any way to get it more speed because it's so close to the ground. The other thing that I'm looking at now that I just remembered needs to also be figured out is the seams in between these track pieces. Can be a little bit tricky, so it needs to line up here, which it does actually. I did well on. I didn't mean to do that, but and then the other thing is right here. When I changed this to be higher, it actually does not line up. So I need to put some thought into that and see if there's a better way to do it. Because right now it's chopping off this track right here, and that actually does not work for me. So maybe we can finagle that, get it to work better. But I think the rest of it actually lines up pretty well. Anywhere else where it would have problems? Right here it looks like it's lining up. I don't see why I wouldn't. This is the only one that needs to be taken care of. Anyway, let's run it one more time and then I'll say see you later. I think it was a pretty successful stream, all things considered. First time using OBS, streaming from my laptop. Woo! Alrighty. Anyway, cool. I'm going to switch this off thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in my next video, which a lot of these new pieces are very very useful for, very needed. So I'm excited.